Right. So welcome everybody to Mindful Strength and a class in the What's Becoming the Healthy Aging series of yoga. And so coming into a class with really fine-tuned, slow strength to build body awareness and curiosity. And so I invite you to begin just by coming onto your back in a supine posture, your most comfortable place. And when you get there, we're going to just start just being really mindful of, just what tensions, tightness, softness we have throughout the body. So as you lie on your back, make sure you're supported. You may want to have a folded blanket behind your head. You might want your knees bent. Just letting your arms lay out at your sides. So resting in. Let's take a few breaths. Let the earth hold you. Inviting curiosity, gentleness, and compassion. Letting your body settle. As you notice the back side of your head in contact with the ground, allow your facial muscles a bit of ease, noticing if there's tension around your eyes or your jaw. Taking a breath and just lengthening a bit behind your ears and into the neck. So if the chin is tilted back, just letting it come level with the floor. Little space behind your neck. And coming down into your right shoulder blade. And noticing, is it laying flat on the ground? Is it tense or resistant? And across to the left shoulder blade, is it also resistant or at ease or soft on the floor? And taking a breath and noticing across the collarbones and down to the chest. Is there tightness across the chest, or is it ease across the shoulders? The biceps. And coming into the back ribs, just noticing, do your back ribs come in contact with the floor, even down to the lowest ribs, the floating ribs. You want probably almost down to those ribs to be in contact with the floor. So just noticing if both sides, maybe one side is and one side's not. And so just starting to notice that. And coming down to your lumbar spine, maybe noticing, is there space behind the lumbar? And if not, you might just give a little bit of space there by tilting the pelvis a bit so you're more on the sacral joint or the base of the spine. And then just sensing the contact of the glute muscles, the buttocks, the tailbone, the sacrum. Noticing if one side is more tight or at ease. And coming down and noticing your legs, whether they're bent knees or stretched. Taking a few breaths to let the earth ease off the muscles. So we're just starting in this release. Letting go of the muscles of the feet and toes. Whole body. Give yourself a moment to follow the breath. Like, how have you been breathing today? Is it quick? Is it deeper into the belly or more shallow up by the collarbones? Have you been breathing through the nose or through the mouth? And if you can, throughout the class, breathe through the nose. Get warmth, moisture, and filtering of the air as we breathe through the nose. And as you rest back, just taking a physical note of how your body, your posture feels when supported. And we'll work to maintain good posture as we strengthen and stretch today. So let's take another breath. And opening this mystery, this curiosity as we bend the knees and roll to one side. And we're going to come on up slowly. So we're going to start in this forward bending posture, hanging over the legs. Right feet about hip width apart. Letting your upper body really just hang, right? Give yourself a little bend in the knees and lengthening through the spine, the side ribs, the armpits, and dropping your chin towards your chest. And you might just take the head and draw some figure eights, or just let the head move in whatever way feels good to release the neck. As we start to mobilize our joints, we use that idea of like water, fluidity in our body, and we're going to start to roll up slowly. Just feeling that tailbone, the lumbar spine, as we slowly start to roll through. I'm going to take our time here. Right, the spine has spinal fluid. It's fluid inside, so we're just can we feel that as we roll up slowly? Coming up, we might reach the arms overhead, continuing that line of extension upward. And slowly bring the hands back down. We're going to roll down again, right? Dropping the chin towards the sternum. And dropping the arms, hanging with awareness, like where in our back or our body do we have tension, resistance. As you get to the bottom, hanging there for a breath or two. And then rolling back up. Let the shoulder blades drop and the shoulders drop towards the ears. Just to give that upper back length and stretch. And bringing the shoulders and shoulder blades back and down as you come to your tallest place and reaching the arms up. Take a nice deep breath in. Maybe exhale the hands and just bring them to the heart. And pause in this Tadasana or mountain pose. Feet about hip width apart. Maybe bring the hands down. Right? You can wiggle and move in whatever way feels good throughout the class. So really experimenting with that curious nature. And just lifting your toes. Let's find our feet right to start. Lift the toes, spread the toes, press them down. Big toes, press and hug the earth. Right? Giving a squeeze. And then slowly, pause in that mountain pose. Nice and tall. Taking a breath or two. Good. Nice reach overhead. Inhale. As you exhale, stepping just outside the shoulders, so a little bit wider. We're going to start to feel that fluid body in our joints, just starting that right shoulder circle and a little smile into the rotation within the joint, the head of the humerus, this long upper arm bone. Right, giving it a little circle. And continuing that circle, if you like, start the arm circle in a larger place and really listening to your joints, noticing, is that a good place to be in that wider circle? Good, nice big awareness, like as you warm around the rib cage, the armpit, the side ribs, like you decide like what feels good and fluid. And when you feel ready, you could try those on the other side, right? Maybe it's just a small shoulder circle. The shoulder can be totally different on the other side. And experimenting with that bigger circle to mobilize fluidity throughout. I'm going to think a lot about our shoulders and our shoulder joints today. So we build some good alignment. Good, and at this point you might be moving in a different way, right? So, maybe the elbows are bent. You can switch side to side. Good, as you come back and pause, letting the arms hang by your sides and doing a little bit of bounce, like letting the bounce, the vibration of your cells as you bounce up and down. You can let your jaw bounce a little bit. Your shoulders, shoulder blades, hands, palms, fingers. What could be a little more fluid? And feel your elasticity. And then stepping out maybe to a wider, almost goddess stance. As we start to churn the flywheel or do some windmills, they're called, we're just going to kind of, like we're holding on to that flywheel and taking some real big or real small, whatever you want to do, circles of the torso. So, right, breathing in and breathing out. maybe you're just coming halfway down as you feel your back, sides, and front. Maybe you're coming lower to the floor. You might reverse those circles, keeping soft in all your joints. How would water move? Right? Continuing that feeling of fluidity. As you come back and pause, maybe in that neutral stance, letting arms float down. Where do you feel warmth or tingling? Sensation of stability or fluidity? Good. Still in our wide stance, we're going to draw across the heart, and maybe start to feel that mobility in your shoulder blade. So bringing one of your arms across the body and then pulling back till you squeeze that shoulder blade back towards your spine, really warming the shoulder blade. Good. Drawing across the heart, opening that heart chakra with some spaciousness to the chest and the back. Floating the elbow back, the shoulder blade in. I kind of like to feel that gentle pulling back, like I'm just an isometric pull, right? And when you feel like you want to switch to the other side, trying that. Again, can we feel that pull of the shoulder blade in towards the spine, little stretch across the chest. Scooping across the heart. Inhaling. And exhale. Is there a playfulness or an ease that you want to bring in? A lightness? Not taking things too seriously. And maybe standing still, bringing feet in slightly, shoulder width apart. See how you feel. Starting to circle your hips, right? Heads of the femurs, right? Find those heads of the femurs. They're right like a ball and socket joint. You can kind of roll the balls in the sockets as you bring the pelvis in this nice circular motion. Maybe try the other direction. What doesn't feel fluid? What feels more like, I don't know, wood or rock? Just to notice. And we'll pause as we come back and rest for a moment. Just take a few breaths. And feel that aliveness within you. We're going to feel our feet again. Do that lift of the toes. Spread the toes, hug the floor with your feet. The little toe hug, lifting the arches of the feet, clasping the hands. Breathing in. We might bring those hands up, press the palms towards the sky, lifting up onto the balls of the feet. And then slowly titrate. Can you go down halfway with the heels and then all the way down. Come up halfway, press the palms up and then all the way up. Lower halfway down, lower arms halfway, all the way down. Good, and just play with that for a little bit. Right, strengthening the calves, the arches, the plantar fascia. Anytime you need to reconnect, spread the toes, press toes down, give a hug and lift. Good, you might just bring the arms down, pause, shake your feet out a little bit if you want to. Good, whatever you need in the moment, right? Starting to feel our stability. We're moving closer to stability and strength. Taking a ball or a block or a pillow and place it right between your thighs. Good, this is optional, right? We're gonna feel those adductors, those inner thighs. Give it a squeeze. So we're in mountain, squeezing the ball as we press down into our big toes. Feel the kneecaps lift, right? Spin your palms forward, wrapping those shoulder blades down the back. A nice tall mountain. Drawing that chin in and down. Lightly. Good. We're going to sit back into that chair posture. Good, light squeeze. You might stay here. And we'll try those heel lifts again, right? So nice and slow. You could explore the heel lifts and titrations. Good, continuing at your own pace, light ball squeeze. If you'd like to, sit back. Another exploration might be to lift the toes here. Right, lift the toes as the sit bones go way back. Take a few breaths. Oh, this little toe, my left little toe doesn't want to come off the mat. Notice if any of your toes don't want to lift. And then press them down and coming all the way back up. Nice big stretch overhead. And last one, maybe sit back into that chair again. Pause with your heel lifts, exploration of heel lifts again, titrating, a little bit up with the heels, a little bit down. And really noticing it, the toes, like the arches, the calves as you do that. So, right, there's this building of the muscles and the support of the ankles and the feet. Maybe sitting back again, a little further if you want. You could have a chair in front of you or the wall for support, lifting your toes, lowering your toes. And you don't want the chest to be too low, right? So here we have to use a little bit of our core, right, to support our back. So have a light core engagement here. And coming all the way back up. And remove the ball, block, or pillow, whatever you've got. And a little wiggle. Where's your fluidity? Good. Maybe you want to lift and lower the heels a little bit. Good. And stepping a little bit wider, toes turned out. We're going to angle the knees outwards over the ankles and come back up. Feet have the toe hug and lift. And then taking the arms up, nice stretch. And then as you exhale, we'll give a little bow. So some sunflowers, bending the knees, exploring that. See if the palms can turn up as you lift the arms. Palms turn down as you go down and bend. Turning palms up, dropping the shoulder blades down the back. Palms down. Letting the air support you. Anytime you need to pause, to sense, feel, just notice, right? There's no hurry here. And then coming back to neutral, we'll pause. Stepping in, Tadasana, or mountain pose. Hand on belly, hand on chest. Feel the sensations of you beneath the sensory experience of your palms and your fingers. Just feeling your skin, your rise and fall of your breath. Your warmth, your heartbeat. And we're going to move into a little bit of strength and stability. So coming down onto the mat. Coming into table, right? So we're gonna really think about our shoulder stability and our shoulder alignment. And much of that is when we draw the chin back towards the, or tuck and draw chin in, lengthening the back of the neck. We need a lot of that these days, right? So pausing there, spreading your hands wide, so 10 fingertips on the ground, like pawing the ground like a cat, like you're gonna, or almost like Spider-Man or something. You're gonna have a light lift to the center of your palm as your 10 fingertips press down. And this is going to give you this kind of shoulder joint stability. Spinning your inner elbows towards your heart. So you'll feel that under the armpits, in the lats and the serratus here. So feeling that stability under the armpits. This is going to keep our shoulder joints in a really good place. And so stretching, lengthening. We're going to reach that right arm forward, left leg back, spinal balance. Good. So a couple options. You could stay right like this and just, begin to feel, sense, notice the building sensations in your body. Maybe there's like these little muscle hugs and lifts as you lift the leg and the arm just an inch or two. These little pulses, right? And then lowering down, pause. You might take a break and sit back, right? Stretching the arms, stretching the back. Coming back up and setting your shoulder cues, your shoulder joints. Sliding right leg back, left arm reaching out. And maybe you're pausing just to find that stability here. It's a big connection. Maybe you're taking those little hugs of the muscles, right? Titrations, little squeeze and release. Lowering back down and sitting back into child's pose and pausing to breathe there, right? Sensing the warmth that might have started in your body, that accumulation, swiveling and moving the shoulder blades if you want, moving the head side to side, and taking a breath or two. And we're going to just extend the hands forward. And again, 10 fingertips spread wide, palming the earth like a cat might to climb a tree, I don't know. And bring your chest forward, coming into a modified plank. This exploration, so it's going to be like with the earth, like feel underneath your hands as you push down. Find that solid earth and into your shoulder joints, into your bones. Straight arms. And then as you move back, you're going to push the earth away from you. Feel your shin bones against the ground. Pushing back, maybe 3 breaths, right, to push back. And then coming forward, you're going to take about 3 breaths to pull. So as you pull, you're pressing down into your 10 fingertips and you're finding that strength under your armpits, drawing your heart space forward. Good, and then push to go back. 3 breaths, pushing the floor, pushing the mat away from you. And then pull with your 10 fingertips, drawing slowly forward until you come back to that modified plank. Good, I'll give you a little bit to play with that push and pull. Enjoying that strong earth connection. Where do you feel it? In your side ribs or under your arms or in your shoulder blades? Good, once you've explored that, and you feel those connections, sitting all the way back into child's pose might be an option, and stay there for a moment. Let your breath regulate, let your heart rate maybe calm, right? Maybe rock your hips. Coming back to you in a compassionate way. Just building that sense of enough. I am enough, and I'm curious. I want to take care of this body and stabilize it. So we're going to go ahead and come down onto the belly. So coming all the way down, feet about hip width apart, arms in a wide V or a wide W shape, I guess, right? I'm going to bring the forehead down. And so starting to strengthen, slow lifts, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor until you feel your quadriceps lightly lift. And then we're going to slowly lift, feeling the mid-back core, the upper back, and then drawing and lengthening the back of the neck. Good, and then slowly moving back down one vertebrae at a time. Forehead comes down to the floor. Slow somatic lifts. You might try it again. You press your hips to the floor. And you slowly feel mid-back core. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Chin drops in and down. Coming back down. And slowly one vertebrae at a time. Forehead to floor, pausing. And taking a few breaths. Now the next option, you could stay there if you want, or widen your feet. A little bit different. We'll do the same thing, but just with wider feet. Tops of the feet pressing down and just starting to lift again from mid-back core, upper back. Chin drops in and down. And following back down. Good, so I'll let you just play with that a little bit. You know, maybe you want to feel connection to your back muscles. Like where in that spinal journey do you have disconnect? Like maybe you want to slow down in a spot. And let the brain kind of search for connection. And drawing the shoulder blades down the back. And pausing, maybe bringing your forehead to your hands. Resting the back. Taking several breaths to settle the body, settle the breath, and settle the heart. When you feel like it, and you feel settled on the inside, we'll bring the feet back to neutral. And this one is slow plank, forearm plank, but we're going to bring the forearms under so the elbows are under the shoulders. Draw the elbows back as if we're sliding the forearms along the ground until you feel on the mid-back core. And then drawing chin in and down, we're going to start to lift the upper abdomen off the floor, nice and slow. And somatically, taking a breath, you start to lift the hips and maybe the upper legs. Pausing to hold, drawing elbows towards knees, knees towards elbows. You stay there. I'm going to come out so I can talk. Holding for as long as you feel like it. You can try that slow release back down by letting the legs come down, the abdomen, and then the forehead back to the floor. Wide elbows. And then maybe try it again if you like. As you draw your elbows towards your knees, you're drawing the shoulder blades down the back, stabilizing the shoulder joints. And maybe you're taking that last one, trying it one more time. Right, feeling that deep core. Resting at the bottom. Good, feeling that warmth and heat. And breathing into the belly. And when you feel ready, walking the hands back. We're going to come up to a side plank variation. This one you could also do with standing with a hand on the chair. If being on the knees is not comfortable, that's certainly an option. We could bring the right hand under the shoulder, left leg out to the side. Right, the right knee is bent, and we're stacking as best we can, one hip over the other. Good. Once you find this stable place, spread the fingers, right? This is going to again stabilize that shoulder underneath, giving full support to the rotator cuff. Good. So you might stay here and maybe start to circle that top arm, like exploring, following with the eyes. It's nice to keep the neck moving as the arm moves so our neck doesn't get too tight. Good. So one option, if that's effective for you or helpful, you might even lift that extended leg. Could continue the arm circles as you hold that leg extended. That's an option. Maybe there's a slight pulsation of lifting and lowering. A lot happening here, so be kind and explore how you like. When you're ready, bringing the hand back to the floor. And pause. You might come to hero's pose. Let's take a breath. What sensations are there? And we'll go to the other side, right side plank on the other side. I'm going to demonstrate with the chair on the side so you see that variation. A little bit more mobility here, a little bit more space. If you want to try it this way, I'm just beginning to explore the arm circles. Maybe this side's a lot different, right? For me it is, right? Optional lift of the leg. You can always pause and stand and then move back into it, right? Come back to it. If it's too, you're starting to feel a lot of intensity, maybe the pulsation. And give a little hold there. And then turning down, coming into child's pose. Or if you're standing, you could just rock back to this downward dog. And settle the breath. It is compassion, but treating ourselves like we're a friend, right? What would we say to a friend and saying that to ourselves? So whatever you need right now, maybe just hang over the legs and let your back, your shoulders lengthen. Just like we started the class, a bend in the knees. And letting the crown of the head draw circles, figure eights. The shoulder blades drop towards your ears. And when you're ready, we're going to come back down onto our back, and you might want a strap. I'm going to do a stretch with the strap. So find your nice supine posture with your strap right next to you. Good. All the way on our back. And take a moment, just kind of check out your back body. Are your shoulder blades laying flat? Are they resistant? As you take a breath, are your back ribs in contact with the floor? Or is one side pulling away? And do you have a small lumbar curve? A little space. Good. We're going to grab our strap and take the strap around your right foot. So optional, bend the left knee, or you could straighten the leg. A little somatic exploration here. Left arm out to the side, Supta Padangustasana, hand to foot pose. I want to take a breath and a little exhalation. Draw that leg in closer. A little rocking motion forward and back with the leg. See if you can maintain that lumbar curve, right, as you draw the leg in. So we're in our lengthening portion of the class where deep stretch. And then maybe push the foot into the strap, right? Really feel the leg engage as you open out to the right. So we're holding the strap with just the right hand. Left arm is out to the side. Good. Stabilizing through the core. We could move in and out, like just find the edge, the inner edge and outer edge of the hip joint. Right, that ball and socket joint. I like to flex my toes back towards my shins to lengthen or stretch the calves. And you could try both. You might try pointing and flexing the feet. And maybe we switch hands. Left hand holds the strap, right arm out to the side. And bring the leg across the body now. And this one we might roll slightly onto that left hip. Really deep outer hip stretch. Moving in and out, somatic. Let's see if we can keep our shoulder blades, our shoulder on the floor. And pressing into the strap, lengthening the leg. And bringing that leg back to center. We hold both hands with the strap. Let's take a breath to settle. And if you want, press the belly towards the floor. And lift the chest, the shoulders, the head, drawing the leg in closer. And pausing to breathe. Releasing back down. Let's take that leg out and arms out to the sides. Pause. Let everything settle for a moment. What remains in your body as you take a few breaths? And we'll try the other side. Strap around the left foot. Holding with the left hand, right arm out to the side. And breathing in. As you exhale, drawing that leg in closer. See if you can keep that lumbar curve, a little space behind the lumbar spine. Pelvis neutral. Drawing the shoulder blades back and down, pressing the foot into the strap, opening to the left, and Rocking the leg back to neutral. Out to the left. Rocking the leg back to neutral. And there's a set of kind of pressing the back of the head down. So we're keeping the chin in and down. This is just a really important cue these days for our text neck and computer forward head. This keeps our nice flow from our heart to our head, right? Our throat chakra, nice spaciousness. Let's switch hands. We're going to bring the right hand to the strap, left arm to the side, and exploring the rocking across the body now, and back to center. And then you might notice if you've been tightening up anywhere, like through your jaw or your eyes. The leg comes back to neutral. Be both hands on the strap. If you like to try this exploration, belly presses down, lifting chest, shoulders, head. And lowering back down. Let's go ahead, release. And let the strap come to the side. Stretch the leg out. Pause and rest the hamstring, hip, and leg. Whole body. And take a moment to breathe there and notice sensations, right? Notice the sensations in your body. The stretching is all about flow. Can you feel flow in your body? Good, we might roll to one side. Coming onto hands and knees for this last stretch for our back. Hands under shoulders. Or actually we'll take the right hand a little more towards the center. Left arm swinging out. Or maybe reaching up to the sky. Leaving the head towards the floor. Sliding that arm under the opposite arm. Threading the needle. And we'll come into bringing the side of the head to the floor. That right arm, you can rest it. Sometimes some people bring it under the head, the hand under the head. And pulling that arm back through. Coming to table. Let's try the other side. Right arm reaching. It's definitely different for me on this side. And then sliding it under. Reaching through. Maybe resting the head on the hand. It's an option. Good, and sliding that arm back through and coming around to seated. Might bring the bottoms of our feet together. You could do this seated on a blanket if that's more comfortable. If this is really intense, take your feet a little further out. Right? You could bring them closer in, holding the ankles, lifting through the spine. And some of us might draw the chest outward, lengthening the spine, pressing elbows into knees. Baddha Konasana pose. 3 to 5 breaths. Nice intentional breaths here. And as you come back up, stretching the legs wide, pressing heels out. We might still be on our blanket, seated. Good. Flexing the toes. This could be really intense right here. Just bringing hands to floor and a little lean into it. Some might go a little further. Just, walk your hands to where you want to be, wide-legged forward bend. Pause and breathe. And walking your hands back in. And let's come all the way onto the back again. We're actually just stretching the legs forward, reaching out. We're going to roll down slowly. So let's really just kind of slowly tip back behind your sit bones, right? You feel this low belly connection to that core. And we might just play with that a little bit, right? Just almost like slow little sit-ups. Flexing the toes, strong legs. You might press the legs together, right? Little mini sit-ups. Good, and you can explore the next 5 to 10 breaths. See how you can get onto your back slowly, feeling that core connection. How low can you go? And that last one's the hardest, all the way onto your back. Nice full body stretch. Lengthening out completely. Take a nice stretch and feel your whole length there. As you exhale the arms down, and pause and let your whole body rest in Shavasana. Good, let's see. Anything changed in your back body? in your connection to the earth? Do you feel any changes in the connection, the parts that are in contact with the ground? Are there parts of you still holding on to the exercise and the tightness or resistance of exercise? Can you let those parts go? Letting go of effort. As we notice our breath, we remain in Shavasana. I'll just guide you in just a little bit deeper breathing at the end of class here. So we continue to calm the nervous system down, following your natural breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. If your heart rate has come down and your breathing has settled, you start to bring the breath low, slow, and light around the lower rib cage, expanding on your in-breath, lightly filling horizontally. And on your out breath, lightly hugging the muscles around your lower ribs, long and slow, but unforced. Looks like you're riding the edge of slowing down the rate and the volume of your breath without pushing it. So anytime you need to just breathe naturally, you can do that. If you need a little catching up. And then taking that long, slow sips of breath to fill on the inhalation. Maybe up to 6 counts. And as you lightly hug the muscles around the lower ribs on exhalation, maybe up to 7 or 8 counts, a little bit longer than your inhale. In the exhalation, we're slowing that down, the pace of the exhalation, so it stays within an inch of your nostrils. It's not big breathing, it's actually less breathing. Returning and just resting with your natural breath. Rest well, my friends, and I hope you enjoyed this version of Mindful Strength today. Namaste.